folks, Cowboy Ryan. Here we are. Today I'm so excited because what I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you 3 things. But first off, let me start out and let me ask you a question. Do you need motivation? Do you need energy? Do you need to rejuvenate your life? Do you need to rekindle your spirit? Do you need to pick me up in your life, in your career, in your relationship? Look, whatever you're seeking, I am so excited because I'm going to bring that here today. I'm going to give you 3 principles. We're going to get in, we're going to hit them, and I'm going to share them with you because I'm telling you, the journey that I've been on to get to where I'm at, nothing has been handed to me, and I've had to learn everything by being on the front line and pushing as hard as I possibly can. So I'm telling you, the best thing to do, you find a mentor, you find somebody who's done it. Look, I've done it. I've walked the walk. I am not just a motivational speaker that's just here to give you a pump me up. No, I'm going to give you some tools today. So here we are. The 3 things, okay, that I'm going to teach you is first, we're going to talk about what is your story, okay? Your story is what shapes your life. The second thing, we're going to talk about giving more. You want more, you got to give more. And the third thing is, you get enough reasons why to do something. So let me tell you my journey. I have a lot of things that I've done in my life, but I was a rodeo rider for 14 years on the pro rodeo circuit, and I started having chronic lower back pain. And I went to over 15 doctors, and they said I'd never ride again, or I'd never do anything physical, and I'd have to retire and live with a bad back. Well, guess what? Pretty soon I adapted that story and I started believing that I had to live with chronic back pain. I lost my job, I lost my career, I lost my dreams, I lost my drive and my energy in life. That all went out the window. And 2 years of that, I found myself living in a camper in the middle of a field, $67,000 in debt, just going, how did I get here? And you know how I got there? Was because, first off, I got to where I was in rodeo was because of my story. What I kept telling myself, that I was going to be this rodeo rider, and I was going to be a champion, and I was going to win. I come from a family of, I grew up on a ranch, but we never rodeoed. So the thing that I always struggled with was that my family didn't do it, and I was the only one doing it. So I had to break that story. I had to write a new story that I wasn't just a cowboy, that I was a rodeo cowboy. And that's how I got to where I was in rodeo. It was my story that I started telling myself. But then I started having chronic lower back pain, and all these professionals started telling me a new story. A new story that I had never riding in, I'd never do anything physical, and I had to live with a bad back. So that was my new story. So I'm telling you, whatever your story is, in your job, in your career, in whatever story you're telling yourself, that's your life is going to shape and mold to that story. So I had to break that story of that I had 2 years of chronic lower back pain. No, I broke the story, I broke the pattern because I woke up one day and I said, I will not live like this anymore. I must change my life, and it must change today, folks. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now, today. I had to say today is when it changes. I have to take control of my life. But see, that was my story. And I'm telling you, it was the saddest, darkest times of my life. Imagine losing everything you have. You live in a field. And I thought I was given everything, but I wasn't given. I'd wake up hoping my back pain would be gone, and it wasn't. It was still there. It would show up, and I'd go through the day with back pain. So I finally just said, look, I've got to change my story. My story is I am a rodeo rider. I am a champion. I am an athlete. I can overcome this. This isn't the first obstacle in my life that I've come across. It's not the last obstacle. I've got to go back to my story, who I really am. Who you really are is who you tell yourself you are. So who are you? What is your business? Where do you want to be? What is your relationship? Let's talk about business for a second. What is your business? What do you want to be? Where do you want it to be? Where do you want it to go? You can get it there. You just got to tell yourself a new story. So I had to tell myself a new story. The new story was I didn't have back pain. There was nothing wrong with my back. I wasn't going to live with back pain. I was a champion. I was a rodeo rider. I would overcome any obstacle. I can do this. I had done it for 12 years. 12 years I rodeoed against all odds. So I hit this obstacle and I didn't know how to overcome it. And I finally overcame that obstacle. So I'm telling you, it all comes down to this. What is your story? So I wrote a new story. So my question is, what is your story? Where is your business? Where is your health? Where is your life? Where is your relationships right now? What is your story? If you're living your story and it's what you want, good for you. If it's not, scratch the story. Scratch the story that you're living. Come up with a new story. Because whatever you tell yourself, most of the time, that becomes true. That becomes reality. That becomes your life. So I wrote myself a new story. And I said, I'm a champion. I'm going to return to rodeo. I'm going to overcome back pain. I'm never going to have back pain again. I'm going to be out of debt. I'm going to be debt free. I'm going to be riding again. And I'm going to win a national championship on TV. That is my story. And I started writing it right here in my head. Then I wrote it down on paper. And I started writing the story on paper. And every single day I would review that story. And it took some work. It didn't easily come, okay? My old pattern was to, after 2 years of living with back pain, and 15 experts told me I would never ride again or do anything physical. Yes, it didn't come easy. It was an old pattern. It was like a record. I had to scratch that old record, trash it, and write a new record. So I did. And I kept focusing, and I kept focusing, and I kept focusing. And pretty soon, over time, it was now easier, almost effortless, to think of my new story, and I actually had to kind of think about it and dig deep to bring up my old story that I had back pain, that I lived in a camper, that I was $67,000 in debt, that I'd never do anything physical, that I'd never ride again. All of a sudden, the old story, that baby started disappearing. So I'm telling you, nothing, there's only one thing in life that can come almost overnight and immediate. You can bury yourself so far in debt, it's ridiculous, okay? But to build wealth, to build an empire, to build a healthy body, it doesn't come overnight. It will come, but it doesn't come overnight. You know, so it comes down to, I wrote this new story. Then I started focusing on it. I started focusing on it more. And it started coming. Now, this is where the second thing that you must do. You want more? You've got to give more. Don't expect that you just start something and it naturally just shows up. You've got to give more, folks. You've got to give more. So I started giving more, and I started giving more, and I started working out, and I started eating better, and I started doing yoga. I started doing Pilates. I joined this gym, and I did everything I possibly could. Then I got 3 jobs. Not just 1, 3. Pretty soon, I'm telling you, within a short amount of time, I was out of debt and I returned to rodeo and started riding again. But here's the beauty of it. The best part about it is it was taken away from me. Rodeo was taken away from me. So that's not the best part about it, but it does, okay? It does come about. The best part about that is it made me appreciate when I got it back. So if your health, if your body, if your relationship, if your business is struggling right now, this is your opportunity to grow. This is your opportunity to move forward. This is your opportunity to make big things happen. This is your opportunity to make it even better, because it's the opportunity of building. Give more. You want more, you've got to give more. See, for 12 years in rodeo, I thought I was giving. I thought I was working hard. I thought I was one of the few guys that went to the gym all the time and I didn't go to the bar. I thought I was just giving everything I possibly could. I was wrong. I was way wrong. I don't care what you do in life. You can always give more. So I gave more and more and more and more. At the end of the day, when I thought I had given all, I gave even more. And I would watch more videos. And I would do more push-ups. And I would study the best. I would interview the best. I would go to these rodeo schools. I did everything possible to give more than I ever have in my entire life. Now, it looked like that I wasn't getting anywhere. You know, I mean, in the Chinese, there's a tree that grows, and it takes 5 years of watering this bamboo tree. Watering, the right type of sunlight, everything, and if you don't do it right, and you don't do it in the right order, it's not going to grow, and it won't pop up out of the ground. And I'm telling you, 5 years of watering, and nothing happens. You don't see anything. And then all of a sudden, at that 5th year, it grows 90 feet in 5 weeks. So my question is, does it grow 90 feet in 5 weeks or 5 years? Well, it's simple. The answer is 5 years. The root system is growing underneath, and it's getting ready to pop out. Now, most people, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, can see that nothing's happening, right? That nothing's happening, but it is. So whatever you're doing, keep going. But don't be afraid to give more. If you think you've given enough, you're wrong. Give more. And then give more, and then give more. You want to make your business the best, the greatest, you want to go to the next level, you've got to give more. You've got to figure out how to give more, folks. And that's what I did in rodeo. I gave more, and I gave more. In 6 months' time, I gave more in rodeo and getting ready and getting prepared than I had given in the 12 years that I rodeoed. And I'm telling you, I lived it, I ate it, I breathed it, I studied it, I walked it, I talked it, I dreamed it, I wished it, I hoped it, I wanted it, I imagined it. I did everything. And pretty soon, guess what? I found myself back pain-free. I healed 2 years of chronic lower back pain. That's right. I'm giving myself a hand on that one. And then I returned to rodeo and I started riding on the pro rodeo circuit again. So, it comes down to this. What is your story? 1, you've got to change your story. And 2, you've got to give more. Just because you think you're giving enough and you're not getting what you want, you've got to give more. And the third thing, you've got to have enough reasons why. And I'm going to wrap up the story with this. And I'm going to wrap up today's lesson. And here it is, right here, right now. I was riding on TV on the Fox Sports Rodeo, and it was a series every single week for 6 months straight. And I was trying to beat this veteran rider, and it wasn't coming about, and it wasn't coming about. And about 2 months into the season, I met all these little kids who were fighting childhood leukemia. And I met this one little boy and shook his hand and said, "What do you want to be?" He said, "I want to be normal, just like the rest of the kids." I'm like, "Normal?" Whoa, that got my attention. It takes a lot for me to be speechless. I didn't know what to tell this kid. And then I looked at him and I looked down and I said, big old baby blue eyes and bald head. I said, "Look, buddy, here's the thing. You don't want to be normal, and it's okay to not be normal. I'm not normal. Look at me. That's why I'm a rodeo rider. Besides, if you were normal, you wouldn't be here meeting me. So what I want you to do, I want you to go tell all the normal kids at school, all the normal kids in your neighborhood. I want you to go tell all the nurses at the hospital that you and Cowboy Ryan are friends. And I want you to watch me on TV and cheer me on. Because I'm going to win the national champion this year." I said, "Deal, buddy?" He said, "Deal." So we shook hands. He went his way and I went my way. The season came down to there was 2 rides left. And I had my chance to take the lead. I was in second place all year long. Chance to take the lead, win the national championship, fulfill a 14-year dream of mine. And guess what? I got bucked off in 2 milliseconds. I still, to this day, don't know what happened. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to pack up my gear, and I wanted to go home. And on my way out, I met this guy and this little boy, and he said, "Look, you changed me and my boy's life. You met him about 4 months ago at the Childhood Leukemia Rodeo, and you told him that it was okay to not be normal and to keep watching." He said, "I don't know what happened, but you put the life back in our son. Somehow you did it. And I'm so grateful. Here, and he tried to give me a bunch of cash and a bunch of money, and he tried writing me a check. I said, no, sir, I really don't need your money. Thanks, but no thanks. And he said, look, we don't know how much time we have left with our son, but I just want to thank you because the amount of time that we've had this last few months, he's back. He's alive again. He goes outside and he plays and he enjoys himself. And I said, well, I tell you what, money's not going to do us any good. But I said, you guys can help me out. And I looked at the little boy, the big old baby blue eyes and bald head, looked down at him and said, I tell you what, little buddy, I'll make you a promise. I promise I will win the national championship for you. But you've got to promise me you'll do whatever you have to do to overcome your childhood leukemia. I said, deal? He said, deal. So we shook hands and we went our own directions. And after that, I was like, oh my gosh, what did I just tell this kid? And then the TV reporters interviewed me. They wanted to know about my ride and how I got bucked out so fast. And I didn't want to talk about ride. In fact, I didn't. I told them, here's a lesson. You really want to take your life to the next level, your business to the next level, your health to the next level, make the biggest commitment ever. So I made that promise I made to that 5-year-old boy. I made that promise on national TV to 8 million fans. I told them what I was going to do. I made that commitment, and I stepped it up. And guess what? The next weekend, I got on a Bronco that was so wild, so crazy. He jumped, he spun, he tried to pull a knife on me. I'm telling you, that dude did everything he could to buck me up. I went 84 points. I won the rodeo, and I won the national championship. Yeah, woo! That's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah. But guess what? You know what it comes down to? And this is my last point. I spent 14 years of my rodeo career trying to win that national championship, and I could never get it done. And all of a sudden, I met this little boy, and I got pay attention to this one, I got the biggest reasons why to win. And that's what put me over the top. So you want to change your life, you want to change your body, you want to take your business to the next level. I don't care what it is. You get you a piece of paper, you look around, you look at your family, you look at your kids, you look at your mom, you look at your dad, you look at your grandma, you look at your grandpa, you look at the orphans, you look at a nonprofit, you look around. If you look around to the things as close to you in your life as possible, you will get enough reasons why. Your mind is the most powerful thing on this planet, and you give it enough reasons why to do anything, you can make miracles happen right there. Oh yeah, the best part about it, he's now 1 month after the rodeo, he's cancer free. Woo-hoo! That's what I'm talking about. All right, folks, let's review. We talked about your story. You want to change anything in your life? Change your story. Change your focus. Come up with something new. And the next thing, you want more, give more. Don't think you're giving enough, because if you're giving and you're not getting what you want, you're not giving enough. You always have more in you. And the last, come up with enough reasons why. Reasons will get you to do anything and everything. There it is right there. And I'm going to finish with a big old woo-hoo! That's what I'm talking about. That's right. I'm talking to you. You know your story. Yes, you do. And you know how much you're given. And you know there's more. And you know what you're doing. You probably don't have enough emotional reasons why. Step up to the plate. Keep going. Give more. Give more. I'm talking directly to you. Absolutely. Cowboy Ryan signing off. Thanks for coming. And we are going to home blame.